Caroline Dowd-Higgins. Thank you for listening to Your Working Life, my podcast series featuring thought leaders in the career and personal growth arena. You spend a significant portion of your life at work, so my goal is to provide you with tools, inspiration, and resources so you can enjoy your career and love your life. And I am thrilled to welcome my special guest to the show today, Melissa Ambrosini. Melissa, welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm so grateful.
Oh, I'm really excited. Now, I want to tell everybody all about you. You are a best-selling author, entrepreneur, speaker, and self-love teacher. In your signature straight-talking style, you teach women how to master their inner mean girl, smash through limiting beliefs, and ditch the self-doubt so they can start truly living the life of their dreams. Melissa, your mission is to inspire women across the globe to create a heart-centered life that is wildly wealthy, fabulously healthy, and bursting with love. And my dear, you are my kind of girl. I applaud you, and I'm really excited to dig in and learn about how we can all master our internal mean girl. So where'd you get the title? How did that all start?
Well, it all began with my personal journey. Back in 2010, I fell really ill and ended up in hospital, and with a whole host of health issues, both physically, mentally, and emotionally. And I started embarking on this health and wellness journey, and I realized that it wasn't just about what you put in your mouth and how you moved your body, but more importantly, the thoughts that were going on between your ears. And I realized that I had a very, very loud mean girl, and she told me things like, you're not good enough, and you're not smart enough, and you're not pretty enough, and you'll never get out of debt, and you'll never meet the guy, etc. And I realized that that voice was my ego, and some people call it their ego or their inner critic or their shadow self or their smaller self. And I realized that if I was struggling with that same internal fear-based dialogue, that so many other people would be as well. So I started sharing, that terminology and calling it my mean girl, and it just caught on. And, now I've created a book, and people come up to me in the street and they say to me, my mean girl told me that I shouldn't come up and say hello to you, but I wanted to. So it's really fun, and it makes something that feels sometimes really serious a little bit lighthearted.
Thank you so much for being so candid about it, because I think we all can relate. I can just imagine the millions of women nodding their head as they listen to this saying, yeah, I've got an inner mean girl. I call it the obnoxious roommate in my head, who sometimes goes to the dark side. But how do you think that this is just something that is innate in all of us, or do you think it's part of the nature-nurture concept that some women are more prone to that than others?
Everyone has that internal voice, and if anyone tells you that they don't, they're lying, and I would run for the hills.
Yeah, I hear you.
Everyone has that voice, and it's just varying degrees of loudness that differs. Some people's is really loud, some people's is not so loud. Some people's is a volume 10 with a very heavy bass, which was how it was for me for many, many years. And she ran the show. She was driving my car. Now she's in the back seat of the car on mute. And she's there. She'll be there for the rest of my life until I am enlightened and transcend and can levitate out of this world. And I'm not sure that's going to happen today or tomorrow. So as long as we are in this physical human form, we all have an ego. And it's about learning how to master that inner voice so that you can live the life that you truly want to live, not from that fear-based limiting space.
And Melissa, you did come up with some very particular action steps about how to identify whether you lack self-worth and how to mindfully change that perspective. So walk us through some, entice us to read the book, Mastering Your Mean Girl.
Well, basically, it's like mastering any art, mastering the piano. You have to practice it every single day. And same with mastering your mean girl or bad boy. It's about committing to doing it daily and committing to yourself. And it's an art. It's not something that you can only do on Wednesdays and Thursdays and then feel and then think you're enlightened and that you don't need to continue to do it. I do it every single day, and we have between 60 and 80,000 thoughts a day for women,
Wow.
and
Wow.
men have around 40,000 thoughts. So you may be mastering your mean girl 60 to 80,000 times a day.
Wow.
And, the more you do it, it might get down to 40,000, and then it might get down to 30,000, and then it might get down to, 10,000. And then you get to a point where I'm at now where it might only happen once or twice a day.
Yeah.
And that's because I have been doing this for over 6 years, and I've been doing it every single day. And some days I might have to do it 100 times a day, but a majority of my life I spend, she doesn't pop up as much anymore. But she does still pop up exactly, I'm not proclaiming to be enlightened here. I still have a mean girl that I master every single day. So I want to talk everyone through a little 3-step mastering your mean girl or bad boy process that
Great.
you can implement into your life right now. So you can take this out into your day and really start to master that voice. So the first thing, there's 3 steps. The first step is awareness. You've got to become aware of the things that he or she is saying to you. And a great way to do that is just by writing them down. So you could write down, my mean girl is currently telling me that I am never going to get out of debt. My mean girl is currently telling me I am always going to be single. My mean girl is currently telling me I'm never going to meet the man of my dreams. My mean girl is currently telling me I will never heal from X, Y, and Z. Or my mean girl is currently telling me I am not smart enough to start my own business, etc. You get the point. So become really clear about what your mean girl is saying to you, writing it down and saying, my mean girl is currently telling me. Because what that does is it helps separate it from your truth.
Yeah.
So instead of saying, I'm never going to meet the man of my dreams, or I'm not smart enough, or I'm not good enough, which actually isn't the truth. And you don't have hardcore evidence that you are never going to meet the man of your dreams. Like, if someone does have hardcore, documented, written down evidence that they are never going to get out of debt, like, show me and we can work through it. But I don't think anyone has any hardcore, written down, documented evidence that they will never heal, or they will never, they're not smart enough, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
our inner demons. Yeah.
Exactly. So become clear, write down, become aware, because once you are aware, you can't unknow what you already know. You can't unlearn what you already have discovered. So that is the first step. Write them all down. Become aware. The second step is gently close the door on those fears when they pop up. So what most people do is that fear comes in, you're never going to get out of debt. And instead of inviting that fear in and letting it sleep over and hang out for 2 months or 2 years, you simply close the door on that fear and you say thank you, but no thank you. It's like an annoying salesperson who comes knocking on your door. You don't slam the door in their face and tell them to F off.
Right.
You say thank you, but no thank you. I'm not interested today.
And you close the door. Yeah.
And you close the door. I mean, maybe you slam the door in the face, but, I wouldn't. I'd say thank you, but no thank you. And then the third step is choosing love instead. So come back into your heart. Get out of your head. Come back into your heart and choose a loving thought. Reframe it to something more loving and supportive, like, I am healthy and strong and I'm healing in every moment, or I am bursting with love within myself and I am worthy of love, or I am financially free and abundance flows to me effortlessly. I mean, I'm just making these up off the top of my head, but reframing it to something that inspires you and lights you up from your heart. So that's the 3-step process. Like I said, you may have to do that for women sometimes 60 to 80,000 times a day. And that's okay, because the more you do it, the stronger the muscle gets. It's like working any muscle at the gym. The more you do it, the stronger it gets.
I love that, because it's a very practical process. And part of it is the being aware, because so many women, and I'm sure myself along my continuous life journey, you ignore it, right? Ignore the mean girl. Let's not identify those specific things. But when you identify it, then you can handle them and deal with them and invite love in. So thank you for that. That's beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so Melissa, let's talk about something that you have experienced, and many women, myself included, go through this toxic cycle of not loving our bodies and really sacrificing our health, perhaps over exercising or starving ourselves or the yo-yo diet. So many women can relate to that. How do we love ourselves and love ourselves into good health?
It's, the part of you that doesn't love yourself is your mean girl. The truth of who you are in your heart loves yourself.
Mm,
Like, your truth is love, and it only knows love. So it's your mean girl that tells you you're not skinny enough, you're not pretty enough, your thighs are fat, your skin is dull, you've got dark circles, you've got dull skin. So that we have to master that voice around our body image and come to a place where we're bursting with love within ourselves. Like, at the end of the day, we've been given this vehicle for this lifetime, and for how long is unknown to us. So we have to really just look after it and really nourish it and take good care of it. And of course, there's going to be days where you feel really crap in your own skin.
yeah,
Like, I still have those days, absolutely, where I feel crap. I feel really crap. And
and
that's
that's okay.
okay.
Yeah, yeah,
That's okay. I am yet to meet someone who is bursting with love within their skin every second of every moment of
right,
every day.
right.
Show me someone who is. There are times where you're going to feel crappy, and that's okay. And it's just about knowing that this too shall pass. It's not about diving into the story that your mean girl has created around that. Oh, you feel crap because you overate. Oh, you feel crap because you haven't exercised today. It's like, no, no, no. Just sit with the crapness. Just allow
Yeah,
yourself to
feel it.
feel
Yeah,
crap,
yeah,
and allow yourself to go, you know what, that's okay.
yeah.
That is totally okay that I feel sluggish and a little bit like blah
Right,
today,
right. Yeah, I
because
appreciate that. Yeah.
nothing is permanent. Everything is always growing and changing and evolving. And one of my favorite sayings is, this too shall pass.
Yeah, so true. And thank you too for reiterating that our bodies are these vessels and these vehicles, and I've approached it differently now that I'm older and wiser, to be grateful for the body that I have and the health that I have, and my relationship with food has changed because I think of it as a way to honor my body, right?
Exactly. And you know what is a really great thing as well is perspective. Like,
Yeah.
we can get so down on ourselves and, so say the most horrible things to ourselves. And then you look at someone who doesn't have an arm,
Yeah.
or someone's body who's riddled with cancer.
Right.
And
Right.
then you go, holy shit, you
Right.
know what?
It's not so bad.
It's
Exactly.
not so bad.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Put it
It's
in
not
perspective.
so bad. Like, what? I have a tiny rash on my arm, and
Hmm.
or I have two pimples, and I'm worried and stressed about that. Yet that child is, in hospital for leukemia right now. Like, it's a
Yeah.
nice little perspective is a really great, is really great.
Yeah.
It really brings you back home to your heart.
So, Melissa, the next topic is near and dear to my heart, since I work in the realm of career development and work as a coach and a speaker, empowering women to thrive in their careers. And you have a secret to living your purpose and getting paid to do what you love. So, give us a glimpse of that. I know it's beautifully discussed in the book, but give us a taste.
I have this theory that you'll never, if you find that thing that lights you up, I mean, if you really let that out and you let passion pump your pulse and you let that be your driving first force, you'll never work a day in
Hmm.
your life again.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that you're not going to work hard. I work my ass off. And the difference is that it's from that place of love and joy, not because I think I should or I think I need to do it. There's a lot of people that go to a job just to make ends meet, and they hate it and they whinge about it every day, and they're really uncomfortable. And then there's people who are doing what they love, and they have a bigger vision and a bigger why as to why they're doing what they're doing, and they let that become their driving force. And when that why is at the forefront of your mind, everything you do is flooded with love, and it doesn't feel like hard work. There's a difference. You will work. Yes, absolutely. I work my butt off, but it's joyful at the same time, because I have this big vision of what I want to do and what I want to create in this world and what I want to leave behind.
I'm a kindred spirit. Thank you, my dear. That's wonderful. I also appreciate how you celebrate your uniqueness rather than stifling it. I know so many people that shuts them down, being unique and different. So tell us more about that.
I believe that our role here on this earth is to be our unique, authentic self and to share that with the world. That is our number one primary role on this earth. Because when you show up as the fullest, best, shiniest version of yourself, you allow other people to do the same, and this beautiful ripple effect occurs. And I realized this in my early 20s, that all I had to do was be me. And it was like this light bulb went off in my head, and I'm like, that's it? That's the secret to life? Like, just be me? That's like a piece of cake, because I am the freaking best at being me.
Yeah.
And you are the best at being you. No one can do you better than you do you.
Exactly.
And no one, no matter how hard they try and how hard they try to emulate me and mimic me, no one can do me better than me. No matter how hard they try. And so all I have to do is be me. It's like, whoa, that's a piece of cake. So that was like quite a revelation for me.
Yeah.
And it's interesting having kids. Like, I have a divine, beautiful 10-year-old stepson, and we have him 50% of the time. So we have him a lot of the time, which is really beautiful, and I'm so grateful that we get this time with him. But I watch myself, we're always encouraging him to just be himself, right?
Yeah.
And to let out his passions and his what's true for him. But I catch myself, I catch myself trying to mold him, and then I'm like, whoa, back off.
Yeah.
Like, back off and just let him be himself. Like, for example, the other day we were getting into the lift in our apartment block, and we got into the lift, and another couple got in, and they said, "Hey, Leo, how you going?" And he kind of he's quite shy. And he kind of like buried his head in my arm. And then and I said, "Oh, he's good. He just got home from school," or something like that. And then when we got out of the lift, we got in the house, I said, "Darling, when people ask you how you are, like, you should respond." Mm-hmm. And you should say, like, you should answer them back. And then I stopped myself and I went, because I caught myself say the word should, and I have eliminated that word from my vocabulary. And then I thought about it, and I spoke to my husband about it, and I was like, you know what? He should just show up exactly how he wants to show up. Yeah. And if he doesn't want to respond, like, sure, okay. The thing is, though, I felt embarrassed in that moment, and then I went, well, why am I taking this on? Like, this is him. Like, this is his own journey, and he is his own human being, and I shouldn't feel embarrassed. Like, just let him show up exactly the way he wants to show up and how it's true for him. So I catch myself with him, like, wanting to shape and mold him and shooting all over him, when what I really need to do is just let him show up the way that's true for him.
Yeah. Takes a lot of courage and a lot of trust and a lot of faith. And clearly it's a journey. It's a process.
Exactly.
So, Melissa, tell us how we can buy your book. You're an amazing speaker and an entrepreneur and a coach. So how can we connect with you online?
Well, you can grab, depending where you are in the world,
That's
go to
true.
masteringyourmeangirl.com. It's in all good bookstores and online at Amazon and lots of other great online stores. So just head to Mastering Your Mean Girl and you can find out where it is available. Um, and I've also got the Mastering Your Mean Girl 10-week activation program, which once you've read the book, you can take it everything to the next level by doing the activation program, because reading it isn't enough. You know, you've really got to implement what we've spoken about in the book. I read a statistic the other day that said 95% of people who read self-help books and attend self-help seminars and workshops, 95% of people don't do anything with the knowledge that they've just
Wow.
gained. Only 5% of people. So if you want to be part of that 5%, we've got to take inspired action. So download, the 10-week activation program. Grab my Mastering Your Mean Girl meditations. I've created 10 meditations. There's 10 chapters in the book to really help everyone implement what they've learned, because I don't want this to be another personal development book that people read and go, yay, I'm so inspired, and then it just collects dust. I want it to really inspire people and to take inspired action. So you can head to masteringyourmeangirl.com. Then you can head over to my website, melissaambrosini.com, and you can check out all my events, any other products that I've got there. I write weekly on that blog, and then I'm on all social media. So I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, Google Plus, Pinterest, all those fun things. Come and introduce yourself to me on Instagram or Facebook. I love hanging out there, and send me a snap or tag me in one of the photos of you with the book. I love to see them. I read and respond. I read every single comment that I get on social media, and I try and respond to every single one personally. So I would love to meet you, and that sometimes blows people's mind that I still do that, and it's very important to me. So come and introduce yourself to me on social media.
Melissa, you are a joy. You have inspired me. I thank you so much, and I hope that our paths cross in person someday soon. You're in Australia, and
yes, where are you?
I am in the United States, in the Midwest. I live in Indiana, so hopefully our paths will cross sometime soon. But I'm so grateful. Thank you for sharing your joy, your wisdom, and your inspiration, and mastering your mean girl.
Thank you for having me.
And I want to thank all of you for tuning in to Your Working Life, where my goal is to help you design your career destiny so it doesn't happen by default. Career and life satisfaction is possible, and it's time to embrace what you love doing so you can do more of it. My show is now available on iTunes, YouTube, Podbean, and Stitcher. Hey, leave a comment, because I always appreciate hearing from my listeners. I'm Caroline Dowd-Higgins. Take good care.